Flower arranging can add the finishing touch for any special occasion, whether it be for a wedding, the holidays, or a simple home decor item. I know it can seem a bit daunting. The first time I created a floral arrangement, it looked like the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland had just slapped it together, and it was not pretty at all. But I really grew to learn to love making floral arrangements through my 4 years at Michael's when I would help the florists there create arrangements to sell. She taught me that by gathering the right materials, preparing those materials, and then aesthetically arranging them, you can create the perfect addition for your home. So first up, we need to gather our materials, which of course is our flowers, our main focal point. I would recommend choosing 2 different kinds of flowers and then one kind of little leafy green or fern that adds a different texture. When choosing your flowers, make sure to pay attention to color. Elizabeth Young from Flowers Talk recommends using complementary colors in your floral arrangements. These are opposite colors on the color wheel, such as yellow and purple, orange and blue, or fuchsia and chartreuse. Today I have gone with a little white tulip and red wildflower, and I also chose these colors because they are not the colors of my walls. Also, when choosing the colors, you don't want to choose them the same as the decor you have, otherwise they kind of get lost. You want them to stand out in contrast, but also complement at the same time. Now that we have our flowers, it is time to choose our base. Today I've gone with a little ceramic pot, but you can also choose a little glass bowl or even a wood crate. It really just what suits your taste and your decor. Now that we have all of our materials, we need to prep those materials. I have gone ahead and done that for today, but when flower arranging on your own, when clipping a stem, clip off a section where it joins the main stem, cutting at a point where the clipped piece will be kept as long as possible. You can always cut this shorter later, according to Silk Flower Smart. And this is important because you can always take length away, but you cannot add it on. Now that our flowers are prepped, we need to prep the base, which is just as important as prepping the flowers. How we do that is by first adding weight. I'm doing that today by adding stones. And we add the stones so that the flower arrangement won't topple over once it's done. The stones also serve another purpose, which is in place of using floral foam and hot glue gun, so that I can just put them in and it stays. This is also great if you don't like the placement, you can simply just take it out and put it somewhere else. Now that we have everything prepped, we are ready for my favorite part, which is arranging. Hadley Keller from Architectural Digest recommends, as a rule of thumb, your bouquet or arrangement should be about 1.5 times taller than the base. You also need to balance the width and height. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to choose my tallest little tulip and put that right in the center. And then I'm going to take all the other little tulips and kind of put that in a circle around it. And it's okay if you don't like where they're placed, you can simply take it out and start again. I'm filling all of the big open spaces while also making it kind of a roundish shape because I want it to be round but not perfectly round. Now that we are done with the tulips, I am adding in our little red wildflowers. This is what's really adding the height to my piece and the different textures. I'm filling in all of the major open spaces while also making sure it is balanced. So we just continue adding in wherever I see a hole, while also making sure that both colors are always visible and one isn't more prominent than the other. So now that we have all of our little red pieces in, we are ready to add in our little greenery. Melanie McIntyre from afloral.com says to fill in the spaces with smaller flowers. That'll create depth and a pop of color. I'm not using smaller flowers today, but this little greenery serves the same purpose. You should always use a smaller flower to fill in the holes that are left over from your two main pieces. So now just putting in the last piece and making sure at the same time that I'm covering kind of the stones so you can't see the stones, but also balancing out all of the other elements of our piece. These three different textures are what really brings out the contrast and makes the piece interesting. All right, and there we go. By gathering the materials, preparing those materials, and arranging them, we now have our finished piece. I hope you have enjoyed today's demonstration. Remember, there is no right or wrong when it comes to floral arranging. All that matters is that you have fun. Thank you.